Are you a beginner in Spring and feeling overwhelmed by the NoSuchBeanDefinitionException error? You're not alone. Today, we're going to break down this common issue and help you understand how to resolve it. I totally get it. Encountering errors like this can be really frustrating, especially when you're just starting out. Many beginners face similar challenges, and it's completely normal to feel stuck. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user asked, "How do I create a bean definition for an integer in Spring?" They were trying to test various Spring features, but ran into this error. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what does this error mean? The NoSuchBeanDefinitionException indicates that Spring cannot find a bean of the specified type, in this case an integer. This often happens when the required bean is not defined in your configuration. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand this error, but also learn how to fix it effectively. To resolve the NoSuchBeanDefinitionException, the user should first ensure that the testObjectImpl class has a default constructor. This is essential for Spring to create a bean instance. Next, the user should check if they are using the correct annotations. Ensure that the testObjectImpl class is annotated with @component, which allows Spring to recognize it as a bean. After adding the default constructor and verifying the annotations, the user should restart their Spring application. This will allow Spring to reinitialize the application context and recognize the new bean definition. Finally, if the user continues to experience issues, they should check their configuration files to ensure that component scanning is enabled. This is crucial for Spring to find and register beans. Fun fact: did you know that Spring was originally created to simplify Java EE development? It has come a long way since then, but some of these issues can still trip us up. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user involves using the @value annotation to inject simple properties directly into your class. This allows you to access properties like ID and value without needing a default constructor. Additionally, remember to add the property placeholder configuration in your application context to ensure the properties are loaded correctly. It's important to note that if you choose to fix the issue with a default constructor, you'll need another way to initialize your bean, so be cautious with that approach. Let's check out another perspective from a different user. An alternative solution suggests that you don't need to rely solely on a default constructor for creating a bean. If you're using XML configuration, you can specify constructor arguments using the constructor arg element. For example, you would define your bean like this: bean ID equals SomeObject, class equals com.package.SomeObject, and then include constructor arg elements for each argument. If you're using Java configuration, you can define a bean method in your configuration class. For instance, you would annotate a method with @bean and return a new instance of your object, passing in the required parameters. For more detailed guidance, check out the article on constructor injection in Spring. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative solution from another user suggests that if you're using Spring Webflow, you may need to declare your class in the configuration servlet XML. This ensures that the class is properly loaded. Now, let's see a response from a different user. An alternative solution provided by a user suggests adding a default constructor to your testObjectImpl class. This resolves the NoSuchBeanDefinitionException by allowing Spring to create an instance without requiring parameters. Here's a pro tip: always ensure your classes have default constructors when using dependency injection. It can save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. You should now have a clearer understanding of the NoSuchBeanDefinitionException and how to fix it. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more Spring tips and tricks.